Hello, and so we come to 1 John 2:4 in Greek, nonetheless. This is Greek. If you are adept at Greek, why don't you take a second and see if you can translate this cold turkey. Okay, we're back. I never left. So, like the Holy Spirit, he's always here, even when we don't know it. Okay, so I'm not like the Holy Spirit. Okay, no blasphemy allowed. See if you can translate it. It's the one saying, this is a participle, the saying one, the one saying that, capital letter alert, as we'll see on the next couple slides or three, a capital letter in most Greek New Testaments, or many Greek New Testaments, implies a quote. Now, all the letters in the original manuscripts were capital letters with no spaces in between them. But because they're nice, the red Bible, the Aland Bible, the red one, the red Bible, capitalizes in its many forms, the many Aland forms, capitalizes the quotes. Now, the blue Bible, the Nestle Bible, does not. Anyway, so I'll let you decide which one to buy if you haven't already. But the quote indicates the capital letter indicates a quote. So the one saying, you can actually ignore the hoti in translation in this sort of circumstance. The one saying, quote, I have known him, end quote, and yet the commandments of him not keeping. The, as it were, goes with both of them. The one saying, but the one not keeping. Or you could interpret it another way, but we get the sense of it. The one saying, I've known him, but yet is not keeping his commandments, he is a liar. Ooh, getting a little harsh here. And in this one, the truth is not. Okay, a little Yoda here. In this, the truth is not. Okay, not is. Okay, breaking it down. The one who says, this is a participle. We'll talk a little bit about that maybe. Well, I'll talk about it now. So if you've identified this as a participle, so that's the first thing is to start with the ing translation. The saying one. The saying one. We have to add one, which, by the way, indicates that it's substantive. It doesn't say the saying man or the saying farmer or the saying something else that's masculine, because this is a masculine ending. The article never lies. The article's masculine. It's masculine. Masculine nominative singular. The saying one. Stage one. Stage two, though, if it has the articles, use who or that. If it doesn't, try one of the adverbial options. Now, it has the article, so it is an adjectival participle. It's not an adverbial participle. It's not a periphrastic participle. Those are the three main uses of a participle. There's a fourth complementary, but ignore that. It is a adjectival participle. And as I said, because it doesn't have the noun it goes with, it is substantive. So the saying one, stage two, let's use who. The one who says, and that's fine. Stage three is where we get the timing straight. And so the one who says is fine, or the one who is saying is fine. Now, normally, the hoti does indicate that we are getting a noun clause here. I've gone into grammar. I'm sorry. The hoti does indicate that we have a noun clause. But in English, we generally won't translate a direct quote like this. We won't translate that. Just leave it out. So the one who says, I have known him. Okay, I'll hold off on the grammar of this until the next couple slides. So, and yet, the commandments of him, this is accusative, which means it's the direct object. And yet, the commandments of him not keeping, this is another participle. The one who says this, and yet is not keeping these commandments, a liar is, and in this one, demonstrative pronoun, the truth is not, or not is. Okay, let's go into even deeper into the grammar. So this is a participle. The way I know it's a participle is because I've memorized own as a masculine nominative singular participle ending. I just memorized it. In fact, it's kind of the first participle ending you ever memorize, usually. And the article never lies, so I know it's masculine nominative singular. Now, you might have been tempted to say, isn't that genitive plural? And I commend you for that intuition, because own is a genitive plural. And for those who don't know what a genitive means, it means you stick an of in front of the word. But I've memorized this one, and this is a masculine nominative singular form. Basically, the difference, the genitive plural form would be leganton. It would have the aunt. My aunt is an active participle. Leganton. And so this has not accordioned out. This is not Jack in the Boxed out yet. The third declension, for those of you who've had me for Greek, out pop some letters. The participle has a shorter form in the nominative, and then in all the other forms, bring, a bunch of other letters pop out. So this is the Jack in the Box is, the lid is still closed on this one. And there is a song, I have a video somewhere of all the Greek songs to memorize the endings, but the song for the nominative participles goes like this. Lu on u sa on amen asamene amen on, and on and on and on it goes. But the very first one is lu on, and so there's the own. And so that is a masculine nominative singular, like the article, present active participle form. The one who says. Okay. Now, egnoka. This is a noun clause, but what is egnoka? Well, if you've had Greek, you might notice the kappa alpha, which is a clue that it is perfect. And this is, I can know this one. I can know it. Gamma, nu, omega is gnosko, the word for know. I know in the perfect, we would normally expect reduplication, which means we would have a gamma in front. It would be something like gegnoka. It would be much more like what we would expect, but it's a little irregular, and we just have to deal with it. So this is, it's direct discourse because because the capital letter. Direct discourse is a quote. And the parsing is, it's R for perfect, active, indicative, first singular, from gnosko. I have known him. So what we have here is somebody who says, well, I know Jesus. I know this paraclete, this advocate. I know him. And yet, if you don't keep his commandments, he's going to say, I'm sorry, who are you again? Kind of reminds me of Matthew chapter 7. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom. Lord, I know you. Remember? It's me, Ken. Who are you? I've never known you. I prophesied in your name. I taught Greek in your name. I'm sorry, depart from me, you doer of iniquity. Hopefully that's not going to be what the Lord says to me. But teron, again, there's the own. I have own memorized. It's masculine nominative singular. By the way, this is the word for not with everything that isn't indicative in the New Testament. So this is a participle. So may is the word used to negate it, not keeping. Teron is a present because it's from tereo. All the letters are there. The epsilon's crashed, and there's the police line. It's contracted. It's but all the letters are represented there. So it's present. It's active because I've memorized own as an active ending. It's a participle because I've memorized own as a nominative masculine singular participle. So everything's good to go there with the parsing there, and yet not keeping his commandments. Is a liar. A liar is, and in this one, demonstrative pronoun, the truth is not. See how many times we've seen Eston? If you haven't memorized Eston by now, take a second and memorize it, because we've seen it over and over again. It basically translates as is. Its subject is either a he, a she, or an it, but it means is. Okay, so we get to the final slide, and this is where you're learning the letters and the pronunciation. So again, I will read the letters and then pronounce the words. See if you can identify the letters and pronounce the words before I get to it. So omicron with a rough breathing mark is either ho or ha, depending how you pronounce it. It is the word for the. It's the very first, it's the dictionary form. It's the masculine nominative singular form of the. Lambda, epsilon, gamma, omega, nu, legon, saying. Omicron with a rough breathing mark, so again, ho or ha. Tau iota, hoti or hauti. And now the quote, capital epsilon, gamma, nu, omega, kappa, alpha. Egnoka, I have known. Notice 3 words. Translate that one word. Alpha, upsilon, tau, omicron, nu. Auton, or auton, depending how you pronounce the omicron. Him, chi, tas, that's the article again, the. Epsilon, nu, tau, omicron, lambda, alpha, sigma. Entolos, commandments. Alpha, upsilon, tau, omicron, upsilon. Autu, of him. A circumflex doesn't always indicate a crash. In this case, there's no crash. May, mu, epsilon. Tau, eta, rho, omega, nu. Teron. Psi, epsilon, upsilon, sigma, tau, eta, sigma. Pseustes, liar. I'm a liar. It's not pseustes. No, it is. Okay, I'm not a liar. Epsilon, sigma, tau, iota, nu. Estin. Notice this one didn't get away. It said, please don't make me take an accent. But the accent was so far away on pseustes that it was required to take an accent. If the accent had been here on pseustes, it would not have had an accent. That's called it's an enclitic. An enclitic is a word that doesn't want an accent. N is also a word that doesn't want an accent, but it's a proclitic because it's a preposition that comes before a word. Chi, N, tuto. Tau, omicron, upsilon, tau, omega with an iota subscript hanging on for dear life. Eta with a rough breathing mark, hey. So this is ho, which is the word for he. I'm sorry, the word for the that's masculine. This is the word for the that's feminine, nominative singular. Alpha, lambda, eta, theta, epsilon, iota, alpha, aletheia, truth. Omicron, upsilon, kappa, uk. Notice may is used with the participle because it's not indicative. Uk is used with estin because it's indicative. Epsilon, sigma, tau, iota, nu. Now here, again, notice the estin. The estins are very unhappy in this verse. It's like this estin said, don't make me take an accent. But the accent on pseustes was so far away that it had to take one. This one had to take an accent because uk didn't have one. And so it was required to pick up the slack and have an accent. Uk is a proclitic. Okay, I think. It's either an enclitic or proclitic. I'm going to call it a proclitic. Why not? This has been 1 John 2:4. Ho legon hoti egnoka auton, kai tas entelos autu me teron, pseustes estin, kai en tuto he aletheia uk estin. Okay, I tried. Have a great day. Tomorrow we're back with 1 John 2:5.